Where does Deshaun Watson wind up? Carson Wentz, we know, is going to get moved. Is it Chicago or Indianapolis? I think Joe Douglas, the general manager, is kind of waiting and seeing where some of these other quarterbacks go, and he's fielding phone calls. He's not aggressively making calls, but fielding calls to see maybe if they can move Sam Darnold. And if they do, I think Zach Wilson's the pick for the Jets at number 2. And if not, as I said, I think that the Jets will move out of 2, and Wilson will still wind up being that number 2 overall pick in this class.
I agree with you. I've been saying for a while, I agree with you completely. He'll be number 2. The question is who winds up making the pick. Then the other part of this is I'm old enough to remember a time when we wondered if Justin Fields might supplant Trevor Lawrence as the number 1 pick in this draft. Now, all of a sudden, he's the 4th quarterback off the board. How did that happen?
Well, you go back and you study games against Indiana, Northwestern, and then the college football playoff national championship game against Alabama. He completed around 52% of his throws with 5 interceptions in those games. In my opinion, you look at him physically. He's big, he's sturdy, he's strong, he's mobile, he's got a big arm. He has all the traits that you look for, but he likes to see his receivers come open and get stuck on that first read very frequently. So now you compare him with Trey Lance, and I have identical grades on the 2. Trey Lance didn't play the level of competition, didn't play as many games as Justin Fields, but I think he processes the game a little quicker in terms of going from his first read to his second, his third, and seeing the entire field. So it won't surprise me if Fields is the 3rd quarterback off the board, but I think they're kind of bunched together in that 3rd tier of quarterbacks behind Lawrence, Wilson, and then the other 2.
And then I want to ask you about the guy that you currently have 5th, because I'm a regular listener of the First Draft podcast. And so I'm listening the other day to you and Field Yates and Mel Kiper talking about what was going on at the Senior Bowl, and everyone is raving about Mac Jones. Your buddy Mel had Mac Jones moving up this thing, and I believe he has him projected higher than you have him projected. What do you see for Mac Jones as this process goes on? Right now you have him the 5th quarterback in the first round.
Well, I think what's going to happen is Mac Jones is going to benefit from the fact that these 4 quarterbacks are going to come off the board quickly. And it's probably going to be because of trades moving up. I have Mac Jones going number 12 overall right now in a trade. I had Chicago moving up to 12 and supplanting San Francisco moving back to 20. We have to see where Carson Wentz goes. Does he go to Chicago or does he go to Indianapolis? Those are 2 teams I continue to hear. And then one of those 2 teams could be, musical chairs without a chair, and may need to move up into that top 15 range to go get the quarterback. We also don't know about Jimmy Garoppolo. Is he going to be a 49er? So there's so many pieces in this pre-draft process that have to fall for us to figure out where the quarterbacks wind up going. But I think Mac Jones is going to be the 5th quarterback and somewhere in that 10 to 25 range in this year's draft.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.